guys, my name is Glenn Bell, and what we work on primarily is advocating for senior citizens, the handicapped, extremely low-income people. All of these are people who are residents in manufactured housing statewide. There's 1.2 million mobile homes in the state of California. 14% of all homes sold last year in the United States was a manufactured home. There's roughly 3.5 million people in the state of California living in manufactured homes. However, this is a segment of the market that has absolutely no representation whatsoever. Under what's public access and law for legal aid, they're not entitled to it because they own a home. Even though most of these people live on $8,000 to $9,000 a year, because they own a home, they don't have access to legal aid. The biggest problem going on right now in manufactured housing communities is the corporate takeovers. Over 30% of all the manufactured parks in the state of California have been purchased by organizations like Sam Zell's Equity Lifestyle Properties, Court and Scott Financial. Those who don't know who Sam Zell is, he owns the Los Angeles Times, the Chicago Tribune, Chicago Cubs. Warren Buffett, who everybody's been thinking great things of lately, has $4 billion invested in the mobile home industry. Sam Zell engineered about 14, 15 years ago as to how to exploit these people. Sam Zell has a nickname on Wall Street. It's called the Grave Dancer. He likes to tell people it's because he saves businesses from going into the grave. The fact is he's got the nickname because he dances senior citizens into their graves. What they do is they take over these parks in a very rapid escalation, take their space rent and ratchet it up. Everybody's talking about how things are tough right now. In a mobile home park that's owned by Sam Zell or Court and Scott Financial, I'll give you an idea where I live. I live in a park that's owned by Court and Scott Financial. Nobody's ever heard of that, but Lee Court just sold the most expensive home in the last 3 years in California yesterday, according to the Wall Street Journal. $45 million. So anyway, in 2006, they took over a park by the name of Blue Star, and right out in Silmar Lakeview Terrace. And that's when Lee and I got involved together, and that's when we started Neighborhood Friends. From that period to now, at that time, space rent was $350 a month. That's on top of people with their mortgages and so on. So it isn't just that $350 a month. But that $350 a month was affordable to most people who live there. Remember, this is the mobile home park. All they do is basically you're renting a parking lot. You know, it more or less is a parking lot. But in less than two years, the people's average space rent now is over $1,000. They play with the utilities. My organization's gotten very, very involved in the utilities. And you see, manufactured housing communities, they also resell the utilities, the electric, water, what's called the energies. And by law in the state of California, you can't overcharge anybody. You can't charge any more than what standard ratepayers pay. But the fact is that these parks do whatever they want to because there's absolutely no enforcement anywhere. We've got parks right now who, on a monthly basis, little widows are being charged $750, $800 a month for electricity. That it is physically impossible to use more than $100, but they're charging $850, $900 a month. And there's no enforcement mechanism in place to go after these park operators. These park operators are some of the biggest political contributors in the world. Sam Zell's the 7th richest man in the United States. Schwarzenegger got $850,000 from Sam Zell last year. You know, I mean, this is so indicative and so deep. Matter of fact, every problem that I've heard today, every problem I've heard this last time, and every problem I hear with Ron and Nina, it all comes down to the same thing. It's the corporatocracy of what's gone on. The fact is, we as citizens have been so worried about getting along with our own lives that we've forgotten about our neighbors. And what I deal with on a daily basis are senior citizens in their 80s committing suicide. I have people who are 90 years old who are being kicked to the curb out of the homes that they've owned for 35 years, that are economically being starved to death. I started this organization with five or six other different people, and for the first 6 months, all we were doing was trying to make it possible for these people to have food. This is the cruelest, deepest, and ugliest swipe. And it's very difficult for me to join organizations like this because really, honest to God, what I see every day are people who are dying, who are being kicked out on the curb when they're 85 years old. These organizations actually target the mentally challenged people who have put it together enough to buy a mobile home, or as so was earlier called a trailer. So, no, I'm just teasing that. Legally, the name was changed in the state of California and many other states to manufactured housing because it's not a trailer. It's a misnomer. As a matter of fact, manufactured home or even mobile home, the manufactured home is moved once. 99% are never moved again. The average lifespan for a manufactured home is 50 years, just like a site-built home. As a matter of fact, the homes built today are built to a tighter standard than that which is built on-site. So there's a huge crisis going on out there. There are hundreds of thousands of Californians who are being dislocated. Our organization works with illegal park closures. We've just busted Mike Antonovich, and you might have written last month in Nina's paper, Mike Antonovich, who's fronting a company by the name of John Dewey, and using Prop 1C monies, which is what you were talking about earlier, which is for battered women in shelters and affordable housing and senior citizen housing. They're using that money to dislocate 70 affordable homes so John Dewey can put a storage unit in on that money, which is terribly illegal. But when you have Mike Antonovich, which is the county supervisor, who is perpetually going to be there, because there are no term limits for county supervisors, guys. There's nothing you can do. He right now is in the process of cutting down or closing down 4 other mobile home parks out in Solid Canyon, so to improve his friendship with Sam Zell, who is their competition. They're being zoned out of existence while Sam Zell at a place called 1001 Trails out in Acton, on the same river bend, on the same street, Soledad Park, has been given permits for 250 new manufactured homes out there, who have been given permits to change their travel trailer place from 300 pads to over 1,001 pads. But these other parks, who have been small family businesses for the last 50 years, are being zoned out of existence. One park said, through the planning department of Antonovich, was told, in order for you to be allowed another permit to operate, or your zoning to be employed, you have to build a $9 million bridge to please Antonovich. And it's not just that. Our organization came forward in 2006, got the first motion ever through the city council in Los Angeles, which pertained to manufactured housing. And there were 18 points on it, and we got it passed unanimously. Since that, there's been 3 major laws changed here in the city of Los Angeles. I have some of my staff actually work on what's called the Mobile Home Task Force here in the city of Los Angeles. And we're very, very active. We have a full lobby arm up in Sacramento. Right now, we're in the process, we are the working group working on changing those. Under California law, any ratepayer has the ability to actually challenge any bill that's given to them. But you see, they have made an arbitrary decision not to enforce that in manufactured housing communities, because their electric bill and utility bills are rendered on their actual space rent as well. And they're given 5 days by California law in order to pay that. And quite often it's 2 days. So, and if they don't do that, they can actually be evicted over that utility bill, and their $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 investment can be stolen from them for $30 by that park operator. It's one of the most profitable and illegal operations going. We've gotten 7 network pieces done in the last couple of years about these issues going on. We've gotten a mayor and 3 city council people dethroned because of the illegal actions that they've taken. We're right now in the process of having, Imperial County and the city of Holtville is being in the process of a $5 million suit because our organization caught them in 1 day trying to evict 50 manufactured homeowners through the condemnation process, which is very complex but illegal. They told them that their homes were all uninhabitable, but they wouldn't give them 30 days to move.